This is Kyle with Anastasia's River, working on another project. Today it's going to be the 25 horsepower Mercury Mariner outboard motor that I have. I've been working on it for a little while. It's been pretty frustrating. There's problem after problem because it's old. I think it's like a 94. It's been sunk multiple times, and because of that there's just tons of problems with it. I'm trying to whittle them away so that I can use it. There's a river. There's a bird. There's a river that I would like to take it down in the next couple of weeks because the bugs are still pretty decent because it's winter, and I would like to take advantage of that. There's going to be another project video of the boat that I'm planning to put this on. I've got to do a bunch of stuff to that. I just dragged it out of a bunch of weeds 2 days ago. I guess I'll just get started with this. So this is a problem. This is just the kill switch though. I don't know. I think I can just get a new one possibly. To take off that kill switch, you have to cut a hole in the tiller handle, and there's a little set screw that you pull this whole thing off, and then you can get to that. So that is not a necessity. I can just use this safety switch as a kill switch until I feel like I want to do that. The outside, it's a little rough. The stickers, scratches all over it, and a little bit of corrosion from saltwater use and stuff like that. Down here, I gotta get a new zinc for it. This one, the fin broke, so get a new zinc. I don't know why this is loosened, so I'll have to put this back tight. I already changed the gear oil in the lower unit, so that's not a big deal. This prop has been pretty chewed up. It's been hit and logs, and it's pretty bent. So once I get this running, I'm gonna keep my eye open for a new prop. It is a 13 pitch according to this. I'll probably stick with aluminum just because I'd rather my prop break than my lower unit. Alright, so let's take a look inside. All the foam still pretty good. This is my work table. New parts right there. Water, of course, gas. I already put new spark plugs on it, so these are good. The coils tested out okay. It's got some rust, but it's not too terrible. A few weeks ago I put a new fuel pump kit and gaskets and cleaned out the carburetor because it was full of gunk. I'll probably take that off first. Take the starter off, take the carburetor off again, kind of clean it up because you never know, it's just been sitting for a couple of weeks. I have to take off the pull start reel because I'm going to be replacing the flywheel, and you'll see more about that here in a little bit. It looks like somebody's repaired the power head at some point, because we've got this monstrosity. I don't know what's going on here, but I think they used a bolt that was too long, so they shimmed it up with washers, but it's pretty corroded. That's pretty guaranteed to snap as soon as I try to remove it, so I'm not gonna touch it. Hopefully the switch box is okay. It's really the only thing that I'm not sure about is this switch box. But let's get to it. I'm probably gonna say that like 15 more times. So first thing to remove is the starter motor. So I'm gonna take off this bolt. You can't really see it, but that bolt back there. Well, I guess technically the first thing I have to remove is this plate that covers the carburetor. So first, second, then I'll pull the carb. After I pull the carb, I'll kind of give it a once over, and pull this cover off the reel, and then I'll get my puller and pull the flywheel off, and then we'll get to the real fun. So this should be an all-day thing. So that's the little cover that covers the inlet of the carburetor. It lets you still get to the, I think that's the idle mixture screw in the front of the carburetor. I could be wrong though, I'm not really sure. I have a manual for this motor, but it's on my laptop. So until I get to something that I need the manual for, I'm just gonna kind of be winging this. It's an odd mixture of standard and metric on this motor. Sometimes it'll be 10 millimeter, sometimes there's 3/8. It's tough. Not tough, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be rebuilding this starter motor because the brushes are bad. So instead of just laying it to the side, I'm going to take it off completely. Usually I would just lay it to the side. just like that. It's always a good practice to take your nuts and put them back wherever they go, because you don't want to lose them. So I'm going to do the same thing with the mounting bolts and put them in the block. And this is where we're at. So the front cover of the carb is removed. These two bolts to get the starter out. It's this bolt and this bolt that holds the ground, and then we've got our positive wire right here. So now that that's done, I can get to this guy right back here on the carburetor, because remember, I'm going to be pulling the carb. So that bolt, or that nut, and then this nut, and the carburetor will come off. I'm just going to clip this zip tie and pull off the fuel line. So that's what's next.